Hello and welcome to Tier 1 of ADEC Season 1 2022, first race of the year as we kind of crest the brave new dawn that is Gr.4 7. We're out in qualifying here at the high speed ring, and this is our first time looking at the Tier 1 drivers in all their competitive anger. After last week's qualifying trials, we are now all go for ADEC in 2022. We'll be shortly joining the drivers for qualifying. We've got Gadget out on hard tyres currently. Blue Racer actually setting the pace initially on the soft tyre, but he's going for the soft tyres early as we have different strategies currently being employed in qualifying. It's Luco now to the top, doing a 14.5 in the Dodge Viper. But we will, start going through all the drivers shortly. But it's going to be a 20-minute qualifying session. Some changes have happened since ADEC 2021 on GT Sport to ADEC 2022 here on Gr.4 7. But the core of the series has stayed the same. It's still group classes, but this time we've got 3 categories with Group 4, Group 3 and Group 2. Group 1 has been shelved for the year, and we'll be moving on to moving to kind of concentrate on the other categories for now, whilst we get kind of funds up and more Group 1 cars are available. We haven't had any change of that of any note. So the old faithful Group 4s are starting us off. We've got Luco and Blue currently trading lap times at the front. So the grid for Tier 1 this season obviously is a mixture of the top 7 returning drivers and 8 drivers made up from the qualifying trials held last week. So we've got some old favourites. Blue Racer, perennial challenger up in Tier 1 in the latter half of 2021. And he joined in Season 3 in the top tier, taking a few race wins. An avid supporter of McLaren, so it's a bit of a surprise to see him in the Supra. Hi guys who are watching. Blue Racer, we'll be looking for him to be quick tonight. We have Luco in the Dodge Viper, joined Tier 1 for Season 5 and immediately looked on the pace. A little bit of a kind of unfortunate luck and a couple of inexperienced car choices in Group 1 kept him from being right at the sharp end, but did finish off his ADEC 2021 campaign with a win. Sorry, not a win, a podium in the final race on GT Sport. We've got series organiser and the West Country Bernie, as he's known as, Gr.4, driving the McLaren 650S. This is a very kind of popular choice at the moment in ADEC. Has shown, over the years of service, it's had some very strong results. And Gadget will be spearheading the Team Motion Blur effort. You'll see a few similar liveries to this with his teammate Blave over the coming races. Gadget currently in P3, 1.2 seconds off the top of the field, but he is still running around on the racing hard tyres, and we may see him come back out on some softs shortly. We have, after a long-awaited absence, a long-awaited return after a long absence, we have Series ex-Drek champion, Season 4 2019 champion, F1 back in the fold, and he's in the McLaren as well. The first MR car he's picked outside of Group 1, so we'll see how he gets on. But it's fantastic to have him back. We're expecting great things out on the hard tyres currently. In P5 coming into the pits we have Ayrton Senna, or Senna as we will go by. He is in the Viper, Group 4, another Seems to be a popular choice for this track. Obviously the high-speed ring, famously returning after a game out. But yes, it's all about maximising your kind of acceleration and top speed. You'll see a lot of drivers using the top line around here, trying to continue their momentum. Senna doing a good job so far in 5th place, but obviously some drivers haven't yet set their kind of best laps. We've got DJ Rice back again in the top tier. Did a great job in the ADEC qualifiers. Was one of the most consistent drivers there, and he's bringing out the venerable F-Type Jaguar in what is being described as the racing lettuce colours. But always a strong competitor, one of the most consistent drivers in Tier 1. Never always had the blistering top end pace, but always is consistent and has kind of grown into one of the most kind of dependable drivers in the field. Always can drag a good result. It's just got to find an extra little step to be right at the top. But if anyone makes any mistakes ahead, DJ will capitalise. In 8th place we have Forzy. Has been part of the series since the very inception. Took some time away but came back, driving the new Nissan Silvia Gr.4 car in the Red Bull racing colours. It's good to have returning members coming back and still proving that they can cut it in the top end of ADEC. It's a fiercely competitive series. It's great to see people being able to return and still make an impact. We got Vlaev, who had a last-second crash, which almost cost him his Tier 1 position in the qualifying series, but he recovered quicker than Muller and manages to hold on to his position. Then we've got Mickey, who's jumped up to P4, also driving the Jaguar. It's a very strong car in a straight line. Yes, we've got Mickey, who was the beneficiary of the last lap crash between Vlaev and Muller, both dropping it through the final corner. And Mickey, who's been a Tier 1 driver once before, and hoping to see if he can, hold on to his position and get up into that mid-table. Is a big kick of oversteer there. We'll jump up again. We've missed Jagannat, who is currently fuel burning. So we will, after he's set the 3rd best time, Jagannat, who's now become part of the Made for Racing team. We'll see how he does with the departure of Puxler from the series. Jagannat will be taking over that sort of position. And we also have Barnett in P4. Driving the Toyota Supra, so kind of Jagannat and Barnett taking the two of the most popular cars, but good in different ways, and we'll discuss that as we get into the race. And, we're just going to quickly pause the stream for just 2 minutes because I just need to make a quick change, so I'll be right back. And apologies for that short delay, interruption in the broadcast. We are now back. We'll head back onto circuit. Make sure that we're, just make sure the settings are correct again. So back out on circuit. And it is Blue Racer currently at the top of the field with a 1:14.5 in the Toyota Supra. Looking strong there and ready to start the season. Got Luco just behind, less than a tenth behind in the Dodge Viper. It's going to be very interesting to see, you know, in the race how these tyre strategies go. But for now, we're seeing, you know, everyone now coming onto the soft tyres as the fuel goes. F1 with a lovely tow here. Can he pick up, you know, a little bit of extra speed down the straight here? He's right on the back end of the Viper of Senna, which is a great car in a straight line. What can F1 do? And he goes up a position, half a tenth off. Maybe got caught a little bit too close to the back of Senna. A great drive by F1 so far. Really showing, you know, he hasn't lost any of his speed since he left. The number 27 car right back up at the sharp end. Mickey now up into P6. Great, you know, looking good so far. Ahead of some established drivers and even series champions in Gadget. But Gadget now finally coming off of those hard tyres. So now we'll start to see Gadget's true pace. You know, we've got about 3.5 minutes, or 3 minutes and 5 seconds left of qualifying, so there'll be enough time for Gadget to get one lap in, see what he can do in that McLaren, which is currently looking very strong. DJ Rice in the Jag, a little bit behind Mickey's time, but we'll see if he can stay on, you know, get in touch with the other Jag driver. Jag, a little bit of an unfancied car at the moment, but Ricey doing a good job there. Senna just a little bit further behind, just a couple of tenths off of Ricey. 1.6 seconds off the top of the times at the moment. This looks like a slight improvement, so he's still working on getting that 10th down to get up into 8th position. Then we have H-Boss. There's the driver we haven't had a chance to catch yet. He's in the Huracan, which is a very different sort of car. He'll get a great launch with a four-wheel drive system at the start of the race, but he may struggle with the tyre wear, and this car isn't the fastest in a straight line. But, you know, H-Boss, new driver to the series, was a beneficiary of the ADEC time trial series, and managed to make his debut now in the top flight by proving his worth in the qualifiers, and we'll see if he can manage to get himself nestled into that mid-grid. Back of the grid, we've got Forsey at the moment, who's just a little bit in the way, you could say, of Janganet. Janganet maybe trying to get himself a little bit further up the grid. He's currently in P4. And Forsey now, oh, that's going to have spoilt Janganet's lap, I think, there. Oh, a little bit of contact. That's a little bit unfortunate. Janganet now dropped to 5th. So it's Glover Barnett now up into P4. The two Emperor drivers separated by a few tenths. A couple of tenths up to F1. Luco back to the pole. Said it last time by. So as the fuel comes off these cars, obviously everyone's got a couple more goes round. You've got to start your lap now. Oh, Luco with a big slide. That's going to cost him some time, but we'll stay on board with our current pace setter. As Bloom now has actually blown that wide open. Maybe he got a toe on that lap. Looks like it's potentially possible. We'll go on board with the British driver. Let's see if we can learn some secrets from the Supra. Yeah, might have got a little bit of a distant toe out of, I think that is Senna up ahead. He's a long way off his pace at the moment, so I think he's happy with that 1:14.1. Looks like Luca's throwing in the towel. Let's ride on board with F1. And he finds some extra pace. No, he's a couple of tenths off, so he's unlikely to improve. Barnett hasn't managed to improve. And there you go, Gadget up into the 15 zeros. So he's managed to get a good improvement. We'll see what Janganet can do. No, Janganet's going to stay in 6th place, I think. Probably won't get a chance to improve, as we're almost ready to start the first race of season 1, first race of 2022 on GT7. It's looking like to be a cracker, and it looks like Blue Racer is picking up where he left off with pole position, likely in this first race here at High Speed Ring, unless someone can put in a late flyer. Oh, a big tail slide through there. That's not going to do his momentum any good. Also, looks like he grazed the wall there. Actually, the drivers do have a couple more minutes. I've just checked my clock, and actually, no, they do have a couple more minutes to get a couple more laps in. So, you know, this may not be over yet. Luco. Can he find a little bit more? On that outlap, he's probably got time for 2 more laps. Can he make it happen? F1 also close to the end of a lap. Looks like he's building up to a lap. No, he looks like he's pitting, but Blue Racer trying to use the ex-champions draft. No, they're both going into the pits. It'll be Glover Barnett in P4. A great showing. Barnett was one of those drivers who also made their way through the trials to hold on to their Tier 1 slot. So definitely will be hoping to do well. Really assert himself up in that upper part of the grid. There we go. So what can Jagannath do? No improvement on that lap. 9/10 of a second off at the moment. Can we see an improvement from the French driver? That was an improvement by Luco, I think. As he heads through the final corner, he's on for a best lap. He's got to find 2/10 to take the pole away. Can he do it? Not quite, but very close. Less than a tenth between these two drivers, and Luco's got time for 1 more lap. But it looks like he's backing it off. That's everything he's got. So, F1, time for him to shoot his... have a go at it, but he's got Blue Racer right behind him. Blue is going to probably get that little bit of a tow. So, can F1 pull away from the tow and have a shot at getting... Oh, Blue's pushed too hard. That's going to have cost him, and he's almost dropped it. So that's Blue's qualifying done. He'll be out of that. There's the penalty. So he's done. Gadget up to Pete. Oh, wait. Apologies. A few cars are in the pits. Just making sure that their tyres are correct. But Luco has got the second best time currently. So F1. Can he get himself on the front row for his return? Beautifully smooth. F1 known for his, absolute ruthless consistency. He's purple in Sector 1. Can he hold it through Sector 2 and Sector 3? He's going to have to be absolutely on it, though. Beautiful line through the difficult right-hander, then into the left. A little bit of oversteer, but cuts it back nicely to hit the apex on the power hard. Keeps it away from the wall. Runs it over that white line. Taking the shortest possible line. He's not quite purple anymore. Can he find the speed through the final corner? The McLaren... apologise. That is the end of qualifying. As we have a little bit of interesting lag there. But it is Blue Racer on pole. Luco P2. F1 P3. Barnett P4. Gadget P5. Jagannath P6. Villeneuve P7. Mickey P8. H-Boss in P9, DJ Rice in P10, as we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and they're away. Who can get the best start? Look for that 4-wheel drive of H-Boss there, and it looks like a great start from F1. He's trying to go alongside Blue Racer. He's now going to have that high line. Running 2 by 2 as we head towards turn 2 for the first time. Blue Racer on the low line, F1 on the high line. Right on board as they head into the corner. For the first time of asking, Blue Racer tries to ride up. Oh, a bit of contact between the two drivers there. F1 in his first race back has taken the lead. Blue Racer into P2. We'll have to find out if there was enough damage there to cause contact. As it's Mickey with the amazing start up into P3. What an excellent start from the Italian driver. Number 9 up to P3. And behind him is Jagannath, Glover Barnett. And this pack. This is all going to take a while to all sort out, and we'll start to work out everybody's strategy. Oh, some drivers up in the wall. That is unfortunate. They're going to come down, make sure they don't clip anyone. Lost a lot of speed there, Jagannath and Barnett, I believe, are the two drivers involved. But at the front, it's Blue Racer and F1. Blue Racer's taken the lead back. F1's sitting in the slipstream. Will F1 go for the lead, or is he going to happily sit in that slipstream? and save some fuel? Here's going to be the first of the strategic questions. They've got a 2.2 second lead at the moment over those behind, as it looks like Gadget has got a little bit of lag at the moment. Forzie's up to P5. There's an absolute cluster of drivers behind. Make it through, lads. Keep it tidy, keep it clean, keep your nose clean. You only lose time by driving like this, as it looks like Jaggernaut has got a 1.5 second penalty there for touching a wall, probably. So that's really unfortunate for the French driver. He'll be forced to drop off the back of this group through there, so he'll have to fight back through. But at the moment, it's an absolute chaos at the moment. Everyone's going to be a little bit rusty. There's Jaggernaut dropping back. But at the front, it's Blue Racer pulling away at the moment from F1. Blue Racer's got the pace, but we have no idea what tyres Blue Racer's on. We'll quickly turn that on just to see. Blue Racer on the soft tyre, so he's going for the high pace at the moment. F1 looking pretty on the harder tyre. Mickey's got rear damage. Oh, Mickey, what an amazing start. Now compromised by rear damage. He's going to have to get that fixed during the stops. There's Barnett also on the hard tyre. H-Boss on the hard tyre. Verve on the hard tyre. Senna on the hard. Mediums for Forzi. Hards for Jag. Hards for Ricey. So Blue Racer trying to use those soft tyres and break away at the moment. Oh, a little bit of sliding there. We'll switch those tyres off for now, just so we don't give away all the information on the stream. Right on board with F1. Just getting good pace out of those tyres currently, 15.8s. You can see such smooth inputs from F1. He'll be okay with this so far. You know, he may know that Blue Races is supposed to be on soft, as we've got a battle here for P3. Gadget, you know, one of the wiliest drivers in this series, which you'd expect from the man who's started it all. And Luco right up behind. Is he going to go for the position, or is he going to fuel save? Mickey still holding on with that damage in P5. Villeneuve in the McLaren just powers past. That's what damage does to you. It just crucifies your speed. And Mickey, after that amazing start, is just going to be dropping back and back. We've got Senna, Jaggernaut recovering up to P8 after that, you know, error that touched the wall, got him a penalty. I will admit I wasn't expecting wall penalties to be on for Tier 1. The penalty is kind of obvious. You hit the wall, you get damage. H-Boss, though, doing a good job in that Huracan. And it is Barnett in the wall. We missed that on stream. I'm guessing he must have got damage, and that's going to be, you know, really unfortunate for him. Way down on the field, almost a lap down, so that must have been a... Yeah, it looks like he's had contact and damage. You can see how scuffed up that car is. Really unfortunate for Barnett. He was feeling confident coming into this race. At the front, Blue Racer still stretching their advantage up to 4 seconds now. F1 comfortable. Look at that consistency in the high 15s, just pounding round at the moment. Gadget just ahead of Luco, but Luco looks like he's starting to do that fuel saving thing. He's happy to sit there. Oh, a little bit of a kiss of a wall probably there, or maybe he's just trying to run off the wake of Gadget, make sure he doesn't damage his tyres. But you can see the other TMB backed car of Villeneuve. Done a 15.4 last time, so absolutely got the pace at the moment. Remember, he, I believe, is on the hard tyre. So looking very good. Jaggernaut just ahead of Senna, but he's recovering after doing a 15.9 last lap. So can Jaggernaut find that pace? Start to pull clear of these guys. He's 12 seconds off the lead at the moment. And obviously Blue Racer still pushing hard at the moment on the soft tyres. He's half a second up on himself. So Jaggernaut's got some serious pace here. If he can find a way through the traffic, this is a long race, an hour-long race. It's going to be, you know, laps in the mid to high 40s. But Jaggernaut getting himself off the Trying to break that slipstream. 15.5 on the hard tyre, so that's a great pace by Jaggernaut in P6. Keep an eye on Jaggernaut, he may come up through the field. Next we've got Senna in P7, and Mickey dropped down to P8 now. He's just losing so much time in a straight line. H-Boss doing a great job so far. Had a poor lap last time, maybe got caught out. And we've got Forzy and Ricey who's dropped back. You know, Ricey was in P6 earlier on, I believe. So he's having a bit of a hard time in the Jag. It's going to be Barnett who's having to push hard at the moment. Just try and keep himself on that lead lap. You know, see if he can recover. But he's going to be pushing hard now to keep himself in contention. Maybe scoring some points when others pit. But Blue Racer still looking quick. He's 5 seconds ahead of F1 as we come through lap 6. Blue Racer has, you know, is probably now aware that the drivers around him may be on a slightly different strategy. He's now 8/10 off of his best pace, so the tyres are fading. But he is still probably, he is the quickest driver on circuit right now. F1 starting to come good with the 15.6, so we're starting to see the pace increase for the McLarens. And he's comfortably ahead of Gadget. We've still got Luco tucked right up behind, with Villeneuve not far behind. These three are going to probably be locked together, and it's going to be about who saves the most fuel. Obviously Gadget, wily competitor, I'd expect him probably to try and drop back behind Luco at some point if he can get away with it, to try and save some fuel. Meanwhile, Jaggernaut, another 15, he's closing in on Villeneuve, but it's going to be tricky to get past the other McLarens in the same car. Just pulling ahead of Senna, who's in the mid-16s in that Viper. But the Viper is a tricky car. It requires a level of finesse. You've got a fuel save in it with the big V10, and it's not very kind to its front tyres. So those tyres may fail and fade a little bit quicker than others. Mickey doing a great job to just hang on there with that, you know, ruined rear end of a car. Forzy, looks like H-Boss must have some damage because he's well down on pace. We're going to have a little check to see. Yeah, so he's got rear damage as well. And this is what I mean, is you just get gobbled up. We're right on board with DJ Rice. Should start closing him in unless he's doing some sort of fuel saving himself and therefore just wants to sit behind. It is worth noting that Ricey has lost 3 seconds to Barnett already in a couple of laps. So Barnett is closing the back in. He may not need to pit again. It's worth noting. You know, he's got good pace in that car, and we'll have to see what he does on fuel. But he is pushing hard to try and recover what looks like an early graze with the barriers. Back with Blue Racer, still in the low 15. So for the moment, those tyres are hanging on. But you just saw a flash of that tyre where those tyres are going to start failing. He's into the 16s now, so now F1 is going to be quicker. And it looks like Luco has now taken the position off of Gadget, and Gadget has dropped a long way back. That looks like he had a mistake on that lap. Apologies for not catching that. We've now got Jaggernaut right up behind Villeneuve. Go to the T-cam. Look back from Jaggernaut. He's now pushing to go back past Villeneuve. Same car. Can Villeneuve kind of have a go at... No, he backs off. The TMB number 2 not wanting to push hard against the Emperor driver, but he gets a good exit out of the corner. Will he go for the inside? He's still there. He's still there. He's having a think about it. He backs out of it in the end. Good job there by Jaggernaut. Gets the position cleanly. Blave, you know, is going to be able to sit in that slipstream and might be able to, you know, find a way to tow up to his senior driver, more experienced team leader. Gadget doing a great job so far. You know, he's the next series champion, just like F1. He's doing that thing he loves to do, which is just sit in the traffic, or sit and wait for others to either make mistakes or make poor strategy choices. He's doing a great job so far. Oh, F1 slide. No, sorry, not F1. Blue Racer sliding through that corner now. That's going to absolutely eat into his lap times. Glover still looking good on pace. Blue Racer still a little bit quicker, but we don't know what they're doing on fuel and all that sort of stuff. But F1 now really starting to look fast. He's eating back into Blue Racer's advantage. He's got so much. He's got 6 seconds to the car behind. And I think F1's looking very strong right now. Blue Racer's going to have to start thinking about pitting. You can hear the tyres absolutely screaming through here. Here's Blue Racer. Blue Racer is into the pits after 10 laps, I believe. Yes, he is. So he has bailed on those tyres. What will he change on to? He's going to fall a long way down the field. You've got Jagannath right up behind Gadget already, pushing hard on those tyres to try and get back into the mix here. We'll go on board with Blue Racer through the pit stop phase, see what he comes back out on. So he's gone to the medium. To me, that means probably going for a 2-stop strategy. And Mickey is going to just probably miss out on a chance to have an attack. He'll have the pace, but of course, he's got slipstream. He's got an issue with his rear wing. He'll probably get the position, actually. He's got the pace. Yeah, Blue Racer is going to have to get back past now. Obviously, there's a lot of difference in pace now. Mickey on old hard tyres with damaged rear wing versus Blue Racer on the faster mediums and with no damage on the car. But Mickey could make this difficult if he wanted to. I don't think he will. I think Blue will go for the inside move here. Oh, but no, a little bit of contact between them two there. Blue making that probably more difficult than he needed to. And Mickey having a look, but he's too far back, and Blue's going to have that position now. So, no, I think we're very obvious that Blue took no fuel there. So he is pushing probably for a 2-stop. But it was quite early, 12 minutes into the race to have that first pit stop. And Luco also was pitted early. So is he going for a different strategy? Did he touch the wall? We'll just have a quick look to see. Yes, he did. Luco into the wall. So one of our kind of fastest cars, looking like, has unfortunately clipped the wall. Unfortunately, one of the things, and Forzy in as well off those tyres. Let's see if that was for damage. Yep, Forzy has clattered a wall somewhere. So that's very unfortunate. Let's see if Luco is taking some fuel as well. So Luco's probably fueled up to the end. So that may be his only pit stop. Probably didn't want to take it this early. And he is a long way ahead of Barnett. So Barnett, we also presume pitted for fuel, but you can see Barnett's lap time was a 2:05, so he definitely had an incident as well as getting damage. May have had a spin through the final corner. That's really unfortunate for Barnett. He was feeling quite confident coming into this one, but he can still recover. But it's F1 now, 8 seconds clear of Jagannath, who's managed to pull away from Gadget but not pulled out that slipstream. And now we have the 3 McLarens. It's a McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. Obviously the guys at Woking will be pleased. One of the new kind of features for this season and for this part of the series, as we see, we've got some people tuning in. Hi guys, leave some comments if you're enjoying the series, the stream, and like I say, give me some predictions on who you think's gonna win this race. F1 looking commanding out front currently, just pulling away a little bit. Oh, Jagannath going a little bit wide. Can he get it back in? Yes, he can. So actually, that's not a problem. Taking just a slightly alternative line to those behind. Can he close down that gap? F1 with an 8-second lead. Jagannath doing well to have pulled back movement. Jagannath was one of those cars that was in the kind of melee, while F1 got a nice 2-second gap straight away. And Jags had to fight his way back. So these two are looking very quick at the moment. It's just going to come down to kind of, does either make a mistake And Jaggernaut is down. He's trying to protect his slipstream. He's not going for the weaving. Weaving's been explicitly banned. But just trying to protect himself from those behind as Vilav chases his senior teammate. At the moment, Senna doing a fantastic job up in P5 in that Dodge Viper. 5 seconds off the back of Vilav, but really good work. And it's now Blue who's pushing hard in the 15s. See if he can catch up. Oh, pushing really hard there. Racer's 20 seconds off the lead at this point. Now we're expecting him to have to pit again, which I think's pretty much put him out of this. He's going to have to push really hard, I think, to get himself back into the lead. Obviously looked quick, but took the soft tyres, and I think that was a bit of a gamble. He's going to have to push really hard now, but he can now see those he's trying to catch. Mickey has now given up on those tyres. With 18 minutes in on the hards, he'll get some repairs, but he's looking almost good for fuel, so he'll probably take a splash. H-Boss goes around again, but obviously we've seen a bit of damage for him, so he's still struggling on. Luco, obviously he's going to be a little bit annoyed with himself after making contact with the wall, forcing himself onto an early pit stop. You know, there's still chance for him to get back onto that podium. You never know. You don't know what the strategy around him is. Others could make mistakes. Barnett is now closing in. Still in the 17s. We don't know what his fuel strategy is currently. But he has got F1 pretty close behind. Still in those 15s for F1. Just relentless consistency. Jaggernaut. Just that, I mean, we are talking, they are so close in pace. And the two TMB cars just behind, starting now to look a little bit feisty with each other. And they do take a different line through this corner. Jaggernaut going for the higher line to get the momentum. And also gives him a chance to break away from the slipstream. So we will go for that top line. And you can see as we ride on board with Blade. Jag again going for that wider line, and I think Gadget's going to have a go here. Looks like Jaggernaut's run wide, and now Gadget's going to be up into P2 again. Looks like Jaggernaut got caught out there, and that's going to give Gadget a chance, and also Vlave's going to have a look. Now he backs off. Having a mistake through fast sector, the kind of difficult right hand kind of switchback corner. This is going to give F1 even more of a chance to just pull away. At the moment, you know, the X Tier 1 Series champion really flexing his muscles and showing us, you know, he hasn't lost any of his skill or any of his pace. And this McLaren looking really fast right now. Gadget up in P2, holding on to that position. Jaggernaut's probably going to be kicking himself a little bit there, unless he's decided he can't break away. Might as well fuel save. The pace of these three cars is pretty good, and if they can kind of work together, Well, I say that, it looks like Jaganet's the one falling back from Gadget now. So Gadget may have found a second wind in that car. Gadget once again goes for the inside line. Got blue flags for Glover. He won't make this too difficult for F1. They're in slightly different races at the moment. Glover peels off out the way and now will nip into the slipstream. F1 giving a little flash. Still flashing the hazard lights. Not quite sure why that is the case. No, it was just for reflection, but he was flashing them to say thank you. He carries on his way, 9.2 seconds ahead of Gadget after 22 minutes of racing. Feeling comfortable, I'm sure. Gadget in P2, and I think Jaganet's struggling with tyres now. He had to push very hard, of course, to get himself back up to this point on the circuit, and I think maybe the French driver now has slightly overcooked those tyres. Oh, was that contact with the barrier? Contact with the barrier for Glaive. Was that Jaganet into the wall? I wasn't quite sure there. No, he would have pitted straight away. Blue Racer, who's now dispatched Senna, still pushing on with those in the 15s. He's probably realising that possibly the strategy was a mistake this time, going for the soft tyres. Blue Racer's described the new livery as a mixture of his original blue Sega with the black alternate livery he ran at the end of last year, mixed in on the rear of the car. Looks very, very nice. Back down the field a little bit. DJ Rice still ploughing on in that Jag in the Lettuce Mobile. Looking good, doing a good solid job, like I say, up in P7. It's just ploughing along, making it happen. That'll be good solid points in the first race for Ricey. Luco is looking quick after his error. In P8, he will probably come back up the field a little bit. There's a couple of drivers who still need to pit, and I think Luco probably won't need to again. But of course, he will have worn his tyres a bit more than he probably wanted. Oh, a little bit of sliding there for the Welshman. H. Boss doing a great job for his first race in Tier 1. Hurricane, which is a really unfavoured car actually at the moment, so he's doing really well, and of course I don't think we've seen him pit for that damage, so he's just making it, pounding round. Mickey, we saw pit a few laps ago for the damage, and he'll be back up to pace now, so we'll see how he does. Set his own personal best of a 16.8 last time. Forzy in P11 after that fairly big incident. He's got 7 seconds to Barnett. So that is slowly coming down. Hi all that are watching. I hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to the bank holiday if you're in the United Kingdom, and if you're not, I hope you're all looking forward to a weekend. Barnett now doing great lap times. He's stuck himself behind F1 and I think got a little bit of slipstream, and he's now using it to tow himself back up to the back of Forzy. So a little bit of tactical thinking there by Barnett. He's unlocked a bit of pace there. That's good work. Like I say, Gadget, Jaganet and Villeneuve all working together still. Gaps up to 9.6. We'll see if these guys are trying to kind of work together as a trio in the slipstream. One of the things that is worth noting is that fuel is now a lot slower to refuel. I do think Gadget has made the tyres work the best of these three, but he has probably had the easiest run of the three drivers. Glaive and Jaganet, and Glaive's looking so feisty through this section of track. I think he's definitely thinking about shaping up and making a move. go. Both the TMB drivers using right up onto that white line. Jagannath deciding to stay a little bit down from there. Again, I think Jack might just be struggling with a little bit of tyre wear at the moment. Can't quite mix it with Gadget. But this battle is going to be very interesting to see who can come out best. F1 looking supremely strong, still in the 15s after 27 minutes on a set of tyres. Of course, the fuel is burning down to offset that tyre wear, but that pace is looking absolutely fantastic. And the Orca cars once again loading strong. We weren't expecting any different, to be honest. Had to go through the tier qualifying system, but absolutely dominated the final. Had a slightly scrappy race in the first race, but really showed himself to be the class of the field. And once again, just so fast, so consistent. Gadget starting to be able to pull away from Jagannath now, up to 8/10. He's broken that slipstream. Got a great exit as well. Gadget using for a driver who famously doesn't like oval races, is kind of using the classic Indianapolis line out of the corner. Through the Indy 500 over the years, it's been known that drivers defend by aggressively swooping down to the lower half of the track. Jagannath now dropping off the back, but got a little bit of slipstream. Can he hold it this time? Try and get back into stay in that slipstream. Oh, but Glaive might have got a good run there. We'll go on board. Gadget and Glaive use that inside line. Jagannath uses that slightly outer line that, of course, got him in trouble earlier on. It allows him to late apex the corner, and now it's Glaive who's dropped off the back of Jagannath a bit. Jagannath's got a little bit of run of, I think, on Gadget. Maybe not. It's about 6/10 back. We'll see what they do through the final corner. So come down through, and Glaive seems to be the one who's struggling. I think he's got caught up on that. Nope, not quite caught up on the barrier, but very close, and he's lost a lot of time on this lap. And actually F1 seems to have lost a bit of time on this lap as well, just a little bit. Gadget now into the 15.8s on this lap. 15.9, so I think F1 had a poor lap last time. Like I say, we'll keep it all a little bit secret for now. In terms of who's in what, what position in terms of fuel. We'll find out when we get to the pit stops. Gadget is starting to push a little bit on. See if he can close it down. He's setting a personal best first sector. So Gadget feels like it's go time. Can he claw it back to F1? It's a long way to go. We're halfway into this race, lap 24. So it looks like it's probably going to be a 47 lap race when we consider that most drivers will be pitting. And talking of pitting, it's DJ Rice. We'll just have a quick check to see if he picked up any damage. No, this is a scheduled stop, so he's going for a classic one-stop race. Will he put a little bit of fuel in? Just a touch. Just to get him through. But you can see, there's been quite a lot of fuel on, actually. Yeah, that's far too much. He's done 50% of the race, and unless he's going for a some sort of kind of push now strategy, and he comes out just ahead of Glover Barnett, and their pace was similar. It looks like Ricey had a poor lap on lap 22, but you can see the difference. Hey MS, nice to see you. No, I've kind of handed in my my resignation letters for ADEC for now, at least. Trying different things as we get this great battle here between Ricey on the cold tyres, and we can actually see the battle for the podium just behind, and Ricey does lose that position. Barnett using the hot tyres and the momentum to take the position. Will Ricey be able to get back down the straight though? Because he's got much fresher tyres. They're both slowly closing in on Forsey ahead. Aussie, who's now just behind F1, so probably using that slipstream just to pull away a little bit. They're all chasing after H-Boss. Hasn't pitted yet, and we know he's got damage. Mickey has pitted to repair the damage and has done a great job in his return to Tier 1. Blue has either had a mistake or pitted again. Yeah, he's on an outlap, so yeah, he's pitted. He's gone for a set of hard tyres now, so that is probably Blue to the end. Apologies. It's not all as simple as it once was to get these things to swap round. But Blue Racer started on pole, got the fastest lap so far, but he's now 50 seconds off the lead. Yep, MS. We had a couple of drivers get incidents early on that spread the field out, and also a lot of drivers haven't pitted yet, even though we're past 30 minutes into the race. Talking of drivers who haven't pitted, we'll go back on board with our closest battle, and actually you can kind of see now F1's got through the traffic, and he's back to 10 seconds ahead, so he's still the fastest driver on track for now. We'll go back on board with Gadget, who I think's probably had a poor lap because he was comfortably clear. And Jaggernaut now up, looking for that P2 spot. They've both got Barnett just ahead of them. Will Barnett give any sort of help in terms of slipstream to Gadget, or will he help Jaggernaut? Jaggernaut on the inside line, but Gadget will have the momentum around the outside. But they've both got to be wary of Barnett. He's going to be on much older tyres, but Jaggernaut takes the position, and he's got Barnett right up ahead. Lets them through. Very sporting. Remember, these cars all haven't yet pitted. It's line astern once again for the two TMB cars, putting in a great showing to start off Tier 1, Season 1 of 2022. That fighting has cost them all a little bit. I mean, it's amazing. These drivers are still in the 15s on their original set of tyres. That's how much the fuel is having an effect. Another 15.8 for F1. Just the tyres do not give up. What can Jaggernaut do? Well, it's probably going to be a 16. Yep, with that fighting. Half a second off his best. And now Gadget seems to be the one who's falling back. And Barnett's staying with these guys for now, so he may be using this as a chance to kind of slipstream away, and we're back to seeing a difference of line between Gadget and Blave ahead, and Jaggernaut. Gadget behind and Blave ahead. Ooh, that was a wall hit for I think Blave. Obviously, I'm not sure. Will he pick up some sort of barrier collision penalty? Super brakes so late into the corners. Meanwhile, with Blue pitting, Luke goes back up to P6. Obviously, Ayrton still has to pit, and so do all three cars ahead. So Luco's still not out of this. He's still got a chance. He's about 35 seconds behind, so we'll have to see how that goes. But Blue Racer down in P7. He'll be, ruining going on those softs to start. Still putting in good pace. Through the field, and it looks like Ricey had a poor lap on lap 20. Obviously, Glover looks like he's had to back out, but he's now getting towed along by the guys in P2 and P3. The F1 just looking absolutely rock solid at the moment. We'll have to see how much fuel he's got left at the pit stop, and if he's been drinking the fuel while the guys behind have been able to kind of eke it out as they take turns. But F1 just looking very comfortable for now. And Gadget's back up to P2, so they're back to fighting each other again, and I don't think this is going to work out for them. I think they need to work together more, because at the moment they're just gifting this to F1. F1 doesn't even have to worry at the moment. You know, they're not actually going particularly quickly, despite the fact that they're at the front now. They need to stop this. Make sure that they keep it together. Oh, that is someone around. That's Barnett into the wall again. That's going to be probably having to repair for damage. No, he's carrying on. But really unfortunate. No, he has put it for damage late. He'll probably pick up a penalty just to make that even worse. We've got another 23 minutes left of this race. F1 11.3 seconds ahead. Pounding around, still in those, sub 16 lap times. Even with tyres which are probably saying no more, no more. When will we see F1 pit? Will we see F1 pit? Will we see these, drivers behind pit? It's all going to come down to who's pitting and who's not. As we go on board with Gadget. And Barnett unfortunately has thrown in the towel. He's had to retire the car. That is a shame. But one thing that is worth noting that this season is kind of new for. We will be having tuning at one point in this season. So we'll repeat the races, the first 3 races, or the first races in each category at the end of the season, but with tuning enabled in the same classes. To give an evaluation of how tuning affects. But we can see Senna now about to go into the pit lane. We've also got H-Boss into the pits. As the game has now assigned that I'm in the race as well, even though I've had no part of this race. F1 pounding round, back in those 16 still, but we'll see where Senna drops down to. He's picking up some fuel. 20 minutes left of the race. Will he go for a new set of hards or a set of mediums? He goes for mediums. A splash of fuel, quite a big splash of fuel actually. So we'll see how he does. But he'll be full attack to the end. That's blew up a position into 6th. I'd expect he's going to be able to go to the end now on the hard tyre. Luco in P5. So he's still 30 odd seconds behind the kind of podium fighters at the front, or ahead of him, and 43 seconds off the lead. So if he doesn't have to pit, and the 4 cars ahead have to take a significant amount of fuel, he may find himself able to be... Oh, but he's touched the outside barrier, he's going to lose so much time. He manages to just hold on though. Great save there by Luco. So easy, but he's lost a lot of time doing that. Probably lost around a second just trying to complete, get through that corner. So we see Forsey back into the pit, so that's going to be a second set of damage. Forsey needs to have his eyes on, make sure he doesn't block the P5 running car. We're only 5 seconds between Luco and Blue Racer now. And Forsey and H-Boss are very close together as well. Have a battle at the end of the track as well. Meanwhile at the front, it's these 3 again now. It's Gadget with the ascendancy. Jaggernaut having had a poor lap on lap 29. Gadget again, this time going later for that cut down. These guys still in the 16s. F1 into the 16.2s. So is F1 backing it off a little bit, just taking it easy on the fuel. He's got a big gap. That was a couple of poor laps in a row. Gadget pushing a little bit harder now. Can he find a way to make this, a charge now? I think F1 is fuel saving. I think he's trying to go to the end without having to make a pit stop. It's going to be a very bold call to try that. In the McLaren, which is famously unfrugal on its fuel, reasonable on its tyres, but famously terrible on fuel. Gadget really starting to open the taps now, pull it away from Jaggernaut, as we saw him do earlier, but then he made a couple of mistakes. Is this Gadget going for it? Is he deciding this is the time? He's making a break for it. He's saved enough fuel, and he's going to try and really, you know, make a charge, because he's pulled a second away from Jaggernaut. Gadget famous for being, you know, fairly... Jaggernaut's pulled the trigger! So Jaggernaut's going for the tyres. Down to 3% fuel. So what have these guys got? Every single, you know, litre they've got over Jaggernaut is going to give them a slightly faster pit stop. But Jaggernaut will have the fresh tyres. We've got 18 minutes of this race left. The two T&B cars running line astern, about 1 second between them. F1 now, I think, has backed it off in terms of pace. I think he's trying to get to the end on fuel. He's got a good gap, and I think he knows the cars behind are probably pitting for tyres and fuel any second. Jaggernaut will keep an eye on. Luco has taken that P4 position. Will Blue Racer do it as well? He's a little bit far back, but of course he's going to have the... he's going to be fast. This is going to be crucial for Jaggernaut's race. I think Blue Racer's going to get him. Blue Racer, one of the hardest people to overtake. Here we go then. He's going to be on a very old set. F1 pits with 0 litres, so he was backing off, just trying to make the fuel number last. So he's gone an extra lap. And so is Gadget and Vlave, who's been the car at the back, and he's saved the fuel. He's got an extra 3 litres. Now obviously that's not going to make a huge difference. It's not going to gain him 10 seconds, but it will gain him more than you think. The fuel takes a long time to come on these days. And our leader, as we go back to Blue Racer and Jag is going to be fuming about this. F1, 42 litres. It's about the same pit stop time. But here we go. This is going to be it. Gadget coming out the pit lane now, onto the soft tyre. With 15 minutes to go, he's going to drop the position to Luco. Luco back up to P2. Remember, he pitted some, well, about 25 laps ago. Blue Racer and Jaggernaut pushing together. Jaggernaut goes up the middle. He's taken back P3 with Blue Racer just behind. So he's now got the tyres and the ascendancy. We've got blue flag traffic and 4 seconds to Luco. I think we can probably safely say F1's got this one in the bag without a mistake. He's going to have those fresh tyres pushing well. Vlave is stuck in the pits. What's happened to Vlave? He seems to not be on circuit. I have no idea what's occurred there. If that is a technical gremlin, what a shame, because Vlave's been an absolute trooper in this race. Stuck behind, you know, his senior driver, got the fuel on his side, and now he's stuck in the pits. So what a shame. Luco 3.3 seconds ahead. A little bit of traffic as well involved. So can these two kind of push to get themselves back up now? It's worth saying, Jaggernaut's on mediums. They're fresh, and they will be fast for now. Blue Racer is on older hards. He will be able to stay with him in the slipstream, but if he loses that slipstream, he may have issues staying with him through the fast stuff. Jaggernaut, though, getting a little bit balked, I think, by the lap traffic. And it is very close between these drivers. F1's had an error. As I just said, F1, you know, can't put a foot wrong. He's lost 3 seconds, I think, on that first lap. Has he picked up damage? Let's have a look. No, he hasn't picked up damage. He's just had a mistake. And you can tell, I think it was probably through this final sector. I think that he's a long way off that high line now. 7 seconds ahead of Luco. That should be comfortable. Got 15 minutes left. Let's see what his lap time is this time by. So yeah, he's back up onto his pace. No damage, 15.5, fastest lap he's done all race. Jaggernaut now pushing hard into those 15.0. So you can see, I think Jaggernaut really lost out from that early issue. Obviously now back into the 15.4s. 9 seconds off of F1, 2 seconds, and here comes Blue Racer again. Blue Racer, who's trying to, find himself a podium. He was the pole sitter, he's the fastest lap holder, but his strategy has cost him. Janganet really doesn't want this. He's trying to hunt down Luco, trying to get that P2. And all these drivers pushing hard to see if they can get up the podium. Got Forzy in P9 as well, just on the back of that, which is just a little bit throwing me. But yeah, any one of these, probably 4 drivers, could end up on the podium, or any 2 of them. Luco is going to be a lot slower at this point, and Vlave is still in the pits. But at least it now says the amount of fuel that he's going to have left the pits with, so I have no idea what's going on there. I do apologise, viewers. So, the gap to F1 is about 9 seconds. What's the lap time that F1's doing? So he's in the 15.7s. Luco in the 16.2s. And Janganet in the 15.1s. Janganet is pushing hard. The gap's down to 8 seconds at the moment. And it looks like Gadget's going for it. He's on the soft tyre, remember, with a 14.4. Gadget with the fastest lap of the race. Taking away from Blue Racer. Come on, boys. Let's keep this sensible. You don't want to make a mistake now. If you work together, you've got a chance of getting P2. If you push too hard too early, you're going to cost yourself, but Gadget wants it. Gadget's going to take it. Of course, these two take different lines through this corner, so just because Janganet's on the outside doesn't mean... But they're doing it again. They're fighting too hard and costing each other time. But Gadget wants it now while he's got hot, fresh tyres. Janganet's, of course, got the mediums. Luco's just there for P2. They've got to be sensible about this. They've got 12 minutes to make this happen. That's... almost 10 laps, I think. I think it's going to be 47 laps. These guys need to make sure that they don't, do something silly. Luco's hoping they're all going to bin it. He's doing a remarkable job. Back in the 15s on tyres which have done 30 laps. Gadget pops out. He's taking P3. Janganet pops back into the slipstream. Now, those soft tyres are going to fade really fast. We saw with Blue Racer, they got really sketchy really quickly. Janganet being pushed up almost onto the grass, it looked like. The longer they scrap, the better this is for F1. F1, whose pace has stabilised now. We should see him more comfortably able to hit those marks. I don't think he'll make a big mistake, but we have seen... Gadget with the penalty. Gadget with a penalty. Half a second. He must have had some sort of shortcut penalty. But they are right back with... Gadget's going to get it next time by. But that's going to, cost him a lot now. Janet going wider than Gadget. He's going to have to run on the exit. This is an absolutely fantastic battle. Luco giving it everything on tyres which just do not want to fight anymore. 15.3 for Gadget. He goes through into P2, but we know he's got that half-second penalty. It is only a little blip. He shouldn't lose too much time, but here comes Janganet on Luco. I think Luco's going to have to basically, accept he's lost that penalty. That early stop not helping him. But this is a great battle. Gadget is going to drop behind these two again. Will he drop behind Blue? We do not know, because it's not a let off, it's a break. These penalties, they're very aggressive. Janganet taking that wider line through there, goes for the exit to kind of straighten himself up into this corner. So here we go. Gadget with the penalty. He will be forced to stop on the exit of this corner. But that's not a lot of penalty. Here comes Janganet. He's through. Luco having a look. He's on the outside line. So it's now Janganet back to P2. They've lost a lot of time doing all this battling, though. They had the gap down to around 8.0 seconds, I think, from Janganet, if we take him as the kind of lead car. that pitted, kind of on the strategy. Gadget pushing again. He's got the soft tyres. He knows he can't, wait around. He's got to go now while those tyres are at the best. Jaggernaut's running that high line again. Trying to, use the momentum, but I think it's not quite worked out for him. I think he probably should have started cutting down earlier on into this race. A wall hit there for Jaggernaut. Will that be a penalty for the French driver? But it was slow, we know that for certain. And that is going to be... oh, a little bit of contact possibly. Oh, definitely some contact there. That is going to be Gadget back in front, but Jaggernaut gets underneath him. Oh god, camera's absolutely going everywhere. No penalty for these drivers. So the longer this fight goes on, the more it favours Jaggernaut. Of course, F1 has absolutely cleared off at this point. He's back to 9.6 seconds ahead. He's setting his own personal best lap times, but Gadget is pushing hard. He knows this is a real chance for that P2, and what a great start to the season that would be. I want to show you the back of the field. I will quickly. We've got H-Boss in P11, Blave still in the pits, Forzy in P9, Mickey in P8, Ricey, like I say, solid race in P7, P6 for Senna. There's a man who, has just pounded the laps in and done a great job. And then Blue in P5, but this could all change massively. It's all going to come down to, well, it looks like Gadget's just running away for it at the moment. Oh, a punt! A punt from Luco onto the back of Jaggernaut. Has that caused damage? No. At this point, I'm just going to take a look to see what those soft tyres are going. Blue Racer absolutely on the limit on fuel. We hadn't even looked at that yet. Gadget's the best on fuel. He'll probably run that rich to the end. And, well, it's just another fastest lap for F1 on his mediums. There's Gadget up in P2. Trying to make those tyres last. He's got maybe 2 or 3 laps left on them. You can see Jaggernaut's had a couple of ropey laps. Probably getting kind of under some attack from Blue. Blue, who's now up into P4 and loves a scrap. Sometimes to his own detriment. Can Jaggernaut find a way to pull away and have a go at Gadget again? While those tyres are kind of wearing. But you can see, we said earlier at the halfway mark, everyone's all over the place. Well, look at them all. We've got 4 cars separated by just over a second. We've got 1 car that's on tyres which are, 30 laps old, I believe, and still putting in the lap times to stay with them. If he loses the slipstream, I think that will probably be it for Luco's chance. But still, what a drive from Luco. Remember, he did have damage, which caused him to pit. Here comes Jaggernaut. Can he find a way to claw it back? 5 minutes to go in the race. You can see F1 just at the end of the straight. F1 who got the jump early. Who's got the fuel? Who can run it rich to the end? Who's got the tyres? Any one of these guys could still have issues with tyres. Jaggernaut's done a 15.4, 15.6 for Gadget, so those tyres, I think, are now cooked. I think Gadget is not going to be able to pull away anymore. He got caught up in the traffic, and he's going to now start to really struggle. Jaggernaut's tyres will be in a better position. Blue's tyres, remember, are going to be almost unworn. But he's going to have the longest stopping distance in terms of raw grip. He'll have the most lenient tyre, but he is going to struggle. I think Blave is actually still racing around the track, by the way. I think he's just had some sort of error on my screen, unfortunately, so I can't see where he's finishing. But Luco's still in with a chance. He could have a go at Blue. He's got great straight line speed in that car. Here he comes. Gadget once again under attack from Janganat. And this time the kind of tyre battlefield has changed. Gadget now on the worn tyres. He's not going to have the pace to make something happen here. F1's had another, well, I was going to say scrappy lap, but you know what, it wasn't. Oh, a bit of contact there between Gadget and Janganat. Definitely still round the outside goes Janganat. Lovely move. Can Gadget fight back, or is this Janganat's best chance? He's now got to run. Yeah, he's not going to catch 10 seconds in a matter of 3 minutes, but he's done a great job. Remember, this is the car that was almost last early on due to an early penalty. I think, just kept it away from the barrier there. Gadget in P3. This would be a fantastic podium for the X Series champion, the series organiser, West Country Bernie himself. Blue Racer and Luco still fighting it out for P4 and 5. These guys are on the front row together. They look like they were going to be the quickest in qualifying. And Luco on 30 lap old tyres has just taken the place of Blue. His tyres are like double the life. But Luco's gone for it. He's got the fuel. I think Blue's going to be down on fuel. I think that's why he's lost that pace. He was right with the others before, but we saw he had the lowest fuel, and I think at this point he's had to back it out. Oh, Luco up near the barrier. Oof, just about gets away with it. Meanwhile, we've got Gadget having another look. These two are scrapping so hard for this final position. Well, these final 2 spots on the podium. Neither of them want to give up the ascendancy. Gadget's tyres, of course, far more worn, but the slipstream does do magic things. F1 now about to start what is going to be the final lap. He's led almost the entire race, had the right strategy, and had not been troubled. He let Blue run away on the softs, didn't care, and has just put in incredibly consistent laps out front with no battling. But here we go. Gadget has lost some of that time, lost some of that pace, and Luco on 30 lap old tyres has got a shot at a podium. If Gadget's tyres are really gone, we're gonna stay on board and see what he can do. I think he'll be okay. He's going to have to run on Janganat if Janganat has a bad exit through here. Janganat needs to concentrate on this exit here because it sets up so much of the lap. Oh, Luco clatters the barrier behind. We hear that. Oh, Gadget's got a shot at this. We'll just jump forward to the leader. 10 seconds left. Janganat just holding on for P2 at the moment. It's going to be a McLaren 1, 2, 3 at the moment, which I think kind of shows the power of that McLaren. Flav is the first guy to finish, so we'll have to find out what happened to him. But a fantastic drive from F1 to take, a victory on his return. Janganat looking like he's going to hold on for P2, and a fantastic P3. Janganat P2, Gadget P3, Luco P4, and what's happened to Blue? Blue's out of fuel! Fuel is out of fuel! Is he going to make it? He's got a fairly safe get, but he's going to be running out of speed here. And here comes... I don't know, actually. I think he's probably safe. Yeah, there's Senna there, so I think he's okay. But, that was close to going wrong for Blue. Senna with a P6. P7 for Lave. P8 for Ricey, P9 for Mickey, P10 for Forzy, P11 for H-Boss, who had a bit of an up and down race, but did a great job for his debut. And of course, our Tier 1 race winner, undefeated series champion, season champion, from Season 4, way back in 2019. It is F1. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for for the chance. for tuning in. That was a great race, exciting all the way through. I'm losing my voice a bit, but that was a fantastic race. Yeah, Blue, I think you did make the wrong strategy call today. I think you may have been in with a shot if even with the softs at the start, if you'd gone to the hards and not pitted for mediums, I think you may have had a better shot at it. But still a great drive, and you'll come back stronger, I'm sure. I think F1 just had that one down. But you never know what might have happened. That was such a close race between so many drivers, and like I say, looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season turns out. But yeah, great drive by all. Congratulations to our podium finishers, and of course our race winner F1. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you later.